After what seemed like an eternity, my Steam Deck is finally here. I got the 256 model and really excited that it's finally here because I ordered it basically a year ago. Like almost a year ago to the date, I finally got it. So enough of me jibber jabbering. Let's dive in, do the unboxing, we'll show off some gameplay, show off some handheld footage, let you see what it looks like, go through some of the menus, and do a proper walkthrough, show you what it's like and what to expect if you pick one up. Also show off some of the gameplay, but I'm excited about it, glad it's here. Let's dive in and take a look at it. Alright, my Steam Deck is finally here, and it's crazy, almost a year to the day. I ordered this, I want to say I pre-ordered it on July 16th of last year, so it took them quite a while. Apparently demand was way higher than they anticipated. This is kind of what you get in the box if you get the middle tier one. There's three different options, a $399, a $529, and a $649. I went with the middle one, so this one came with the faster storage, with the NVMe SSD drive, carrying case, and an exclusive Steam Community Profile Bundle, whatever in the world that is. So let's take this out of the packaging. Of course, this came in a box, just a regular FedEx box. And yeah, pretty neat. So this, I believe, it kind of reminds me of the Switch from what I've seen, but it also has like little touch-sensitive panels for the thumbs as well. Interesting. Very interesting. So let's go ahead and open this up. I've been waiting for this for a long time because effectively what you get here, well, apparently that's sealed. Okay. I don't know why they would do that. You get my handy dandy unboxing tool and take care of that. There we go. So yeah, if you buy actually all models come with the carrying case, which is surprising. I thought the base model didn't. But this one has the SSD in it instead of the eMMC memory. The base model, 64 gigabytes of storage, and I just could not do that. Wow, this is actually quite a bit bigger than I expected. I haven't seen one of these in person. So you got the two thumbsticks here. You can also push down on those. We got our buttons there. These are both touch-sensitive panels, which is pretty cool. Like I said, it allows you to use kind of like mouse-like features or maybe for some touch-sensitive games. You got a 7-inch touch-sensitive screen here. Dedicated Steam button. D-pad up here. Looks like that's probably to switch display. There's actually a dock you can get for this, so you can plug it into an external monitor, so like a TV or even a fancy computer monitor. So the heat comes out, volume buttons, charging port there, power button, dual triggers up here, R1, R2. I'm not going to lie, the first thing I'm going to play on this is Dead by Daylight. I've been playing a lot of that here lately, and especially playing with my kids. This is going to save my marriage, because no longer will I have to have the TV on in the PlayStation 5 to play Dead by Daylight with my kids. I can connect this, of course, with my Bluetooth earbuds, or I can plug them in because it's got a headphone jack, and I can play my games in silence while I lay in my bed and don't disturb my wife who's sleeping because she has to get up early for work, and I can play games with my kids, so I'm pretty excited about that. I know, it's a complete nerd moment. Also, we have the power brick in here. 2022, at least something comes with a power brick, right? I've heard that the gameplay on here, I think it only gets about maybe 2.5 hours, maybe 3 hours. I'm going to have to test that out. Don't quote me on that. Just a simple USB power brick, USB-C. And then the charging, that's not the charging, the carrying case is actually pretty top-notch. It's even lined, it seems like, with maybe felt or microfiber to keep from scratching it up. This is top-notch, high quality. I like this. Now, the options on the storage are pretty dismal. I mean, we know that games take up a whole lot of storage space, right? So $399 gets you the 64 gigabyte model, which, how could you use 64 gigabytes in this? I'm sure the operating system takes up probably 10 gigs. So you can install what, Cuphead? Not a whole lot, right? So I went with the 256, fully expecting to put an SD card. And I think that's what most people are kind of expected to do for the external storage, to put that in here, because the highest end model only comes with a 512 gigabyte SSD. So I thought 256 was probably worth it. I was going to have to buy a bigger SD card anyway. And there is actually an M2 drive in here, which is what it uses, but they said that you can't replace that. The end user is not supposed to replace it because it has the operating system on it. I'm sure there's probably a hack somewhere to do that. I'm not messing with it. Personally, that's not my cup of tea. And here we go, SD card slot down there. So I bought this additional 512 gigabyte. You want to make sure you have, there's certain ones, but the Samsung Evo ones I know are good because of the transfer speeds. It basically makes it like native storage, and that's what you want to load your games. I mean, of course, you can probably use a cheaper one. Let's see if I can do this without hurting myself. I'm sure you can probably use a cheaper one, but there are recommended quality ones. So I just went ahead and ordered this one. On Prime Day, it was a good deal. It was normally, I think it was like normally $65, and I paid, I think, $52 or $53. So I feel like that was a decent deal. You don't need to use the conversion adapter to regular SD card. We just need the micro SD, and it'll pop in the bottom. Very similar to a Nintendo Switch. If you've got a Nintendo Switch, you're probably familiar with the concept. There we go. And I'll have to come back with some first impression stuff once I get it turned on. Maybe install a game or two, and we'll have some more discussion. But I wanted to do the unboxing and show this off so you guys could see it, because I'm pretty darn excited about it being here. What do you guys think? So I've got here in my hand the Steam Deck. Finally. So I pre-ordered this like July 16th of last year, a really long time ago. I kind of thought it was going to show up, I don't know, maybe sometime around the beginning of the year. Apparently demand was way higher than their actual availability and availability to produce them. So here we have it, basically a year later. So I've been using it. I probably clocked about 4 hours playing games on here already. A little bit of time on the screen with joysticks, and it's really nice. The build quality is good. I like the joysticks on here. They've got nice feedback on them, nice tactility. The buttons are solid. The ergonomics is actually pretty decent too. It's very wide. I mean, it's got a 7-inch screen, and then it's got this whole platform. You got both sides, a touch panel with the button, and then also you got the D-pad over here, the A button, and the X, and the Y, and the B. All this stuff. There's a lot of things going on this console, but it's pretty darn powerful. I haven't had any problems running anything. Nothing's glitched. Nothing's been choppy. I've had a pretty good experience. I am a little frustrated. There are some things that aren't working on here that I really wanted to play, and I didn't realize this before I got it. I pre-ordered it. I forgot about it basically until the last couple of months, because I'm like, where is this thing? Why isn't it here yet? Well, actively using it, I've been playing Cuphead. I installed Wolf Among Us. It's a good game if you've never played that before. I got Apex Legends on here and some other stuff. I still haven't played Age of Empires 2. Piqued my curiosity. We'll see how that works with the joysticks. But anyway, it's nice. Joysticks are good. Touchscreen is solid. You've got the Steam store on here. In case you were wondering, this is called a Steam Deck for a reason. It's made by the Steam people. It's basically like running a handheld gaming PC with the Steam library on here. So you can get all sorts of stuff you want on there. You can buy the games, you can buy the apps, and you can install them on here, and you can play them. Limitations. So they have a 64 gig model, a 256 model, and then a 512. I really didn't want the eMMC memory that's in there. It's not a whole lot, especially with the operating system. Not a whole lot of space, and it's a little bit slower. And if everything's running directly off the memory, I wanted the SSD. So I got the 256. Let me tell you, it filled up really fast. I already had ordered a 512 SSD. It's a Samsung Evo one. It goes right in the bottom there. Very easy. Pop it in, format it, and you're good to go. So it works kind of, think of it like the Nintendo Switch concept, where every time you play games, you pop in and out the cartridge. Same principle here, except you can install multiple games. So you can install like 4 or 5 games on one. You have them on one SD card, 4 or 5 games on another one. You get the picture. I mean, of course, it can be more than that. It really depends on what you're installing. If you install like a 160, 200 gigabyte game, I mean, there's not a whole lot I can do to help you. And that's the only real limitation when it comes to this. You don't have really big internal storage. You can't really swap anything out. And it does have an SSD on the inside or the MMC, but you can't switch that out. That's something that is installed by Steam. So hardware, I think, is good. I think the sound is good too. It's got nice sound, right up in your face, stereo sound. That's good. The screen, it's nice and bright, beautiful, fun to play on. I wish it was 120 hertz. It's not. Sadly, it's 60 hertz, but it runs nice and smooth, consistent frames. And then in addition to that, it's got nice brightness and contrast as well. So it makes for a nice gaming experience. The ergonomics is good. It's not as flat as like the Switch. I'm not really a big fan of playing the Switch in handheld mode, especially the Switch Lite. It's so flat. It's so lacking in ergonomics. It makes it kind of difficult to use the triggers. And this one, it feels like it's got just enough contour, just enough change to it with the hand grips on the side that I think it's much better. Also, when it comes to this, I do have some concerns. This is all one fixed unit. So we've experienced problems with the Nintendo Switch, with the Joy-Cons, and they get the controller drift. It's happened to mine. You basically, if you need to get it fixed, you're going to have a warranty repair done. And I don't know what happens beyond the warranty. Of course, we haven't gotten to that issue yet, but we would have to see what happens maybe a year, 2 years, 3 years down the road. I'm sure that at some point these joysticks will mess up. It's a controller. if you probably clock 1,000 hours on it at some point, there may be an issue with it. So we'll have to see how that goes moving forward with long-term support and warranty and things like that. But I don't have any concerns at first glance. I mean, as I'm using it and playing with it, it seems nice and tight. Tolerances are good. It's not loose. It feels high quality. It feels like this is not the first console they made. It feels like maybe it's the second, third, or fourth. Like they put some serious thought into this, and I'm grateful for that. So I think it's nice. I'll be glad when they get the compatibility issues worked out. Again, I can't play. I was really looking forward to playing Dead by Daylight and Fall Guys because I play those with my kids. You would think that they're available. You can actually install them. You can't play them because they are not supported with the anti-cheat software for Dead by Daylight or for Fall Guys and for some other popular games as well. So it's going to be on them to get the compatibility sorted out on that before you're going to be able to play everything that's in the Steam console library. Now, there are a lot of games you can play. There's a lot of stuff on here that's worthwhile to playing, especially Cuphead. It's a ton of fun. If you never played it, I played it and beat it before. I just got the DLC, so I just started playing that one as well. And I'm definitely rusty, for sure. But it's a nice challenge, and I'm up to it. So, first impressions, I like it. I'm glad that I got it. I can't wait till all the games that I would like to play are available, especially since you can install them. You just can't run them. And definitely going to have to invest some more in the SD cards. But I think the pricing is pretty favorable, especially if you get the entry model one. My buddy has the entry model one, and he says that it actually works really well. He said that it seems pretty seamless with the eMMC, the 64 gigabyte, and he just puts in SD cards, which is ultimately what you have to do anyway. So it may be okay for you, especially if you want to spend around $400 instead of the $500 or $600 ballpark. So that could be something that's valuable, save you some money, get your foot in the door, and the console's the same. It's not that you can get a cheaper console. They just basically give you the less storage and they give you the less fast storage. But my buddy says it's okay. I haven't tested it out. Just throwing that 2 cents out there. Mine with the SSD, the 256, I'm happy with it. It doesn't even seem to get overly hot. Heat does come out of the vents when you play it, and it does warm up a little bit, but it's not near anything critical that you're holding on to or touching, so it's not really a problem that I've noticed, and it doesn't really put out any noise either. So I've been happy with that, and I think they've done a good job on it. So that's all I've got. Unboxing, first impressions, all that jazz. Hopefully this is helpful. Hopefully you like this. If you want to see any more videos on the Steam Deck, then please sound off in the comment section and let me know, and we'll go from there. So that's all I got. If you have any questions or comments, please go down to the comment section, and I will get back with you. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. And as always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you guys next time.